you are impacting people's lives. And that's got to be a huge part of the franchise to be responsibly franchising. But it's exciting. But I think the challenge, as I think what you alluded to, is that you have these people's lives now that you feel ultimately responsible for. Even though people are responsible as franchise owners, they're independently owned and operated. But you do feel that sense of responsibility to having them succeed, don't you?
I do, 100%. I got to think it's like we're not a small investment model. We're not. We're just below 600,000 to get into this system. And a lot of that has to do with, we're very heavy on equipment and vehicles that, to launch a franchise system. So you do have instant assets in the business. But when you're talking that type of money, and it's not, I don't look at it like, hey, man, you're not rolling the dice. We know how to operate in this space.
Yeah.
We have great people I've been in the industry for, what is it, 32 years this year, 33 years. And it's like, I know what works and know what don't work. You're having those deep conversations with people where it's like, they kind of want to veer off the system a little bit. And those are challenges that we face every day where someone's trying to do something different. It's like, hey, I respect that, but it's not going to work. We've tried it. We've tried it. And it can be a very disaster road that you're trying to go down here. It's like, this is what works. Be patient too. We're not a get quick rich business. We're not. People that are thinking, hey man, I'm gonna be well off in year one. It's like, it's not how this system works. Give it year two, you give it year three, and you're going to start seeing some excellent returns on it. And then give it year 10, you are going to see, whether you have an exit strategy or not, you're going to see the benefits of what this business can do for you. But it is, man, it's like getting someone up and launched. It's like, you got to have that empathy of, what are they feeling? A lot of anxiety, a lot of fear comes in, and a lot of wins too, though. There's a lot of wins that we always got to remember. It's like, hey man, I know times are hard, but look at the wins.
Yeah.
We're up. You had a, first, production week where everything went well. It's like, these are great things. These are really wins. We got to remember that too.
Did you find it surprising that when you got into franchising and started, awarding franchise owners locations, that you found yourself doing more coaching, counseling than you anticipated?
I listen really well to people. And I think that was kind of like a lot of the messaging that people were giving me.
Right.
So I kind of had an idea, probably not to the level of where it's at,
Right.
but I like that. I do. I really like mentoring. I like consulting with people. I do love coaching. I've looked at growing my corporate business where, at one point you're making so many decisions, but then you get to a point in the business where it's like, I need to formulate a leadership team. We need to adopt an operating system that we can follow consistently, how we're going to communicate with such a large company. Listen, our business is complex, Frank. It is. You think about it, we have 3 different businesses in one. It's great in the fact that you have this huge, client pool of clients that you can cross-sell all these different services to. But it's like, you got clients, you got equipment, you got vendors, you got product, you got warehouse. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot to it. And what's really good about that, it's not made for everybody. So it's not an overly saturated business when you're doing this. And when you have the right people that have the right mindset, you can blow it up.
Right.
You really
and your business is not a low investment by any means. Who is your ideal franchise owner?
I'll tell you what, someone who has money, because that's really important, because we've met a lot of people that I want to partner with, but they don't have the money. And I mean that. We have some really great people that we had to deny because they wouldn't have been able to get a loan and up and launch. I can tell you mostly what we see coming into our system
Please.
is the 40 to 50-year-old corporate working person. I love the owner operator model. I absolutely do. We have 2 franchisees that are in our executive model right now that want to transition after 2 years into owner operator. But those folks that can get right into the business and learn the business. If someone came to me, Frank, and said, hey, man, I want to go climb trees, I'm going to say, go get a job, because we don't want our owners out there working in the field doing that type of labor work. Hey, you want to learn how to sell the work? We can teach you that. We absolutely can. But we really want more of this back end manager, office general manager type mindset. And someone that wants to scale the business. If someone comes to me and says, hey, man, I have a great operating territory. I want to get to $1 million and freeze. I'm going to say that's not the right person for us.
Mm-hmm.
My vision, my long-term vision is that we deliver 1 million services. That's a lot. But my partnerships with franchisees, that includes them having to continue to ramp up, scale the business, get on the additional services that we offer to be able to fulfill that vision. So, if we can get that right mindset person, knowing that this is a longer traction, keep going, kill it after 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to reap the benefits and understand that, that's who our people are.
Okay. Can you clarify for the audience the difference between the executive operator model versus the owner operated model?
So your executive model is that 15 to 20 hours a week. It's really coaching and mentoring your team. You're given the support that they need, as in, you're dropping the marketing. You're going to make sure that their tools are replenished when they need that. You're doing all the back end support, as maybe you're going to be doing all the AR, all the AP. You're meeting with the team maybe once a week for a breakfast or something, talk about what's working, what's not working. The owner operator role is, hey, you're there every day. You're acting as the general manager. You are seeking out, all the new hires. You're doing all the interviews with them. You are working specifically in and on the business to launch, and then transitioning to really working on the business. When you get to maybe a 2-3 person crew,
Mm-hmm.
you're adding on the additional services, and you can scale from there. That owner operator, probably more of that 50-hour a week type, 40, 50-hour a week type person. Executive saying, hey, I'm going to take the profits from this business, and I'm going to put either a general manager in place, or I'm going to hire an account arborist manager that's going to sell and can also be more of our operations manager at the same time.
What about from a staffing perspective? Am I launching all 3 businesses at once, or is there some sort of stage that I'm
It's a
launching?
scale.
Okay.
Yep. So that's part of our scalable model, where in year 1, when you come in, it's a general tree care plan, healthcare services.
Mm-hmm.
Our equipment package is designed specifically for that. I don't want to teach 2 businesses in 1 year, and I
Let
can give
alone
you
3.
So, and even with like lawn care at our corporate location, we're a seasonality business.
Sure.
We're up in the Northeast. Lawn care isn't 12 months out of the year. It's more like a 9.5, 10-month service that we do. But when you launch, you have to be specific on when you launch, because 65% of our sales happen in March, April, and May. We're subscription based, so we sell by the program. Most lawn care people are calling when weeds are starting to pop. That's what kind of triggers them to call a lawn care service to come out and perform the application. But all lawn care companies, they sell by the program. After May is over, we start cross-selling, telemarketing different people, taking current clients and offering them and upselling them on different services. But your lawn care sales really drop off. So as we're launching, for instance, in the next couple of weeks here, we have some launches coming up. We miss out on the lawn care part of it. So we know it'd be on the tail end of the marketing. We want to ramp them up to say, hey, be ready to go, spring of 2025, marketing can drop and you can launch successfully.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also adding more equipment. You're also adding another person at that time. You also definitely need some warehouse space on where you're actually going to put your products coming in. So that's all part of the scalability, is where it's like, hey, our model is general tree care, plant health care to launch. You can park at a storage open parking lot facility. All those trucks are designed to hold all your tools and products, so you don't need a warehouse. Then in year 2, approximately, we want you to get into the lawn care and pest control.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fumey, or Emerging Franchise Group LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.